Okay, in this tutorial, I'll be going through with you SANM technology. Let's copy that and paste that, and I'll write stock besides it. And you can see the name here in Google. You can see that 30.68 US dollar is the cost of stock. You can see market cap is 2.12 billion, which means the firm is quite big. It's in billion, and there's no dividend yield. Um, if a company is paying a dividend yield, that shows that the company is financially very strong because that's extra money. So after paying their costs, liabilities, creditors, they still have money left. That's extra money. So it means that they are financially strong. But if a company is not paying their dividend, that could be two reasons. Maybe they're not financially strong, or maybe they are reinvesting the extra money instead of giving to shareholders. So it could be either way. It's up to you to decide. Now I want to see when was this founded. Just go to Wikipedia, find this box, and see founded. Okay, now I want to see what the employees will say about it. I'll just copy that and I'll paste it here and type in review. Indeed, it's 1600 reviews and it's 3.6 stars. And you can just read through the reviews yourself and check in Glassdoor as well, which is a brilliant website. Click here and you can see 800 reviews and 3 stars, which is brilliant. And now I want to see if it has any patents or not. I use just your patents, and I've left the link actually in the description, and you just paste it here, search it, and there's only one. I guess that's the exact name, yeah, just to match the name. So I just want to make sure why it's Sanmina Corp. So I want to see if that's the same thing or not. It is. There's S here, and these two are same thing, because if you see, I was just worried that Sanmina Corp and that's Sanmina Corp. But if you just Google it, it's the same thing, so that's fine, because sometimes companies have very similar names, so I was just worried about it. If you see 2006, they have just one patent, no other patents. But 2006 is like, I would say more than 10 years ago, so they don't have any recent patents, so I'll be worried about it, because why don't they have recent patents? But it's good thing they have one patent, but I'll be looking for another patent recently. So because are they still innovating? Are they still doing something different? Because patents means that the firm is strong, it has a mode and it's doing something different. So you need to look at it in that way. So that's brilliant. Let's look at their key executives, so what salaries they're getting. So I use Yahoo Finance, and it's a brilliant website. So it's not working, so I'll just copy the symbol, and I'll just go to profile, and you can see the sector, the industry, and the full-time employees from here. And you can see 5 executives. All of their salaries have been shown except this CEO and director. It's not applicable. You need to find out why it's not applicable. Maybe some other website has covered it. You need to find out that, because the more information we have, the better trust we are able to build. And so you need to find out that. And lastly, I want to go to MacroTrend. MacroTrend is a brilliant website for ratios. Go to price ratio, price book ratio, and paste in the symbol. And this website, you have to be a bit patient about it because it has a lot of data, so it takes time to load. So you need to wait maybe for 30 seconds or something sometimes, or maybe a minute. But don't worry, because this is a brilliant website. You will get, your life will be very easy after this. So it's okay with that. um, in the meantime, while it's loading, I'll explain what price book ratio is. Price book ratio, if it's less than 1, that means the stock is at discount, it's a bargain, you must buy it, it's undervalued. So if it's less than 1, if it's 1, that means that the stock is at the same price, so you're buying it at the same worth. And it's not expensive, which is brilliant, because at least you're not buying something expensive. If it's more than 1, it means the stock is expensive. The higher the number goes, the more expensive it gets. So let's see what number it is. Actually, while it's loading, the data will appear here, but it says that in July 2019 it's 1.33, which means that it's 1.33 times expensive. Okay, so we have the data here, price book ratio, and we can see 1.34, which means that right now in July 2019, if somebody buys this stock, they will be paying 1.34 times more money. So, if I see, it was the most expensive in 2010 March, when it was 2.17 times more expensive. So if you see just vertically up, it will make more sense. You can see, if somebody bought in 2010 March, they paid $16.5 to buy something that was only $7.6 worth. So they paid nearly twice as much money to buy that stock. And the cheapest it was in 2009 March, when it was 0.24 times expensive. So it means that people who bought in 2009 March, they paid $1.83 to buy something that was $7.52 worth. So they got a big bargain. They got like 80% off, you can say, like a sale. So they paid only $1.8283, not even $2, but they got something that was worth $7.52, which was brilliant in 2009. So you need to look at that. But right now, if somebody buys, they'll be paying 1.34 times more money. So, it's a bit more expensive right now. Let's look at other ratios, and I want to look at current ratio. And in current ratio, if it is less than 1, that it means that the stock is risky. It's very risky. You must be aware of it. If it's 1.5 or more than that, that means stock is very safe. It has good margin of safety. You must think about buying it. So, you will not regret maybe. So look for 1.5 or more than that. It's just loading right now, and let's see. So we are looking for 1.5 or more than that. Right now, it's in 2019, it's less than 1.5, so it's a bit risky. So I just want to see if it has ever been so. It means that, as far as I can see, that since we have data of 2005 up till 2018 March, it has been a very safe stock because it has always been a 1.5 or more than that. But just recently in 2018 June, it became a risky stock. So it's below 1.5. So since June 2018 up till 2019 March, so I would say nearly a year, since a recent year, it is a risky stock. So you must be careful, but before that, it was very, very safe. Let's go to debt equity ratio. In this ratio, it tells me that if the company is mainly operating on debt or equity. So we are looking at zero point 0.5 or less than that. Let's have a look. So it's just loading on top. So I can see they don't have any recent like like recently I can see it's 0.24, which is less than 0.5, which is brilliant. if I just look at previously, like have it ever been more than 0.5? Yes. So I would say that it has been a risky stock, but it became, yeah, since 2014 September up till now, we have data until 2017 September. It's less than 0.5, so it's not risky, but we want to look at 5 years data, so we don't have that right now. So at least look at for 5 years, so which is a good term. We don't have 2018 or 19, so I don't know like what to say about that. So it's a bit confusing because if you see after 2017, there's no data for 2018 equity or 19 equity, although there's a data for long-term debt for 2018 and 17, but they don't have for equity. So I'm not sure about this. So let's have a look at return on equity. I'm looking for 8% or more than that. So I'm looking at 8% or more than that. Right now it's lower than 8%, which is a risky stock. And then, there's a minus as well in a recent one. And then there's like, the previous ones are good, but recently it's not doing good. So there's a minus as well, and then it's not 8%. So, I wouldn't, I would just wait for this stock to be back to normal. So,